Hey guys, Peter here to let you know about the latest EP from XDO, Year of the Four Emperors, out January 10th on Reigning Phoenix Music. This release has 4 tracks, 19 minutes in length, and it's the band's first ever EP. They are a Canadian symphonic death metal band. Now this EP is a concept EP. You don't hear this every day. Concept records, there's a lot of them out there. EPs, not so much. This is the first one that I've reviewed on the channel that has this sort of backdrop, these sort of characteristics to it, and it's a really interesting one. If you look at the title of the EP, Year of the Four Emperors, you have to go back to AD 69 in the Roman Empire. Nero had died, and then there's this sequence of different emperors that come into power, that rise into power, and then fall almost as quickly as they gotten there. And you go from Galba, the one that followed Nero, into Otho, into Vitellius, and then finally Vespasian, the one that brought some order back into the Roman Empire. So the EP follows the story of Rome, of these 4 emperors of that time frame, and allows you to see the rise and fall of each one of them, and then Vespasian coming in at the end, providing a sense of continuity under a new umbrella, under a new reign with new ideas, under a much different vision for what Rome needed to be. These songs are very different from one another. Not just different from a lyrical concept, because obviously the story changes. There's ebbs and flows from track to track, and that allows you to better understand the short reign that some of these emperors have. But the songs are also very different sonically. And I felt like the changes sonically from track to track was to better make the listener understand, to better paint an overall image of what the plot, of what the storyline is in the Year of the Four Emperors. If every single song had similar attributes or fell into a very linear format, I don't think you'd be able to have as much of a dynamic experience as you have with this EP. It's almost a mini movie to a certain degree, or a mini documentary, I should say, where a lot of the storytelling aspect of the lyrics of the songs comes in the first person from the point of view of one of the emperors. So I think this is really a great way to tell a story, to relive everything that happened in the Roman Empire in AD 69. A lot of people know Nero and know what happened surrounding Nero, but what came afterwards is not as well known. So the Year of the Four Emperors is definitely a great way to tell a little bit more of the story of the Roman Empire in a very difficult time period, in a change of guard, if you will. Now let's go through these 4 songs, starting off with Galba, the first track, the first emperor to follow Nero. And this is more of a symphonic death metal song for sure. It has all of those attributes in it. It opens up in a very historical setting way, allowing you to understand that Nero had died and Galba had risen into power through treachery, through alliances, broken alliances. And so the storytelling from a lyrical perspective works really well from the get-go to place the track, to place you in a historical period, to make you better understand what is going to happen after that. Now, musically, the track is incredibly cinematic. It's probably the most cinematic track, the most symphonic death metal song that this record offers. And I think it's great to start off with a track like this, because it's the best way to get the listener engaged with the experience of listening to the EP. You want to feel committed to this theatrical piece, or to this theatrical concept that this EP brings to life. So having a song that opens up with these sort of dynamics, larger than life, great orchestrations, great sound, massive, theatrical, cinematical, all of these aspects, to me, it allows the record to go in the right direction. It allows this song to have a very interesting dynamic as well, because halfway through the song, you start to see the fall of Galba as an emperor. You start to see his demise, if you will, in the rise of Otho, who felt betrayed by Galba. So it's an interesting song because it's not only presenting one of the 4 emperors, it starts to present the second one, the one that comes after, creating a very dynamic experience, not just musically, but also vocally and lyrically. Great track. I love the outro. The outro in Latin works really well for the song. It also helps to give it a little bit more of a realistic context, making the song absolutely perfect, sound-wise, lyrically, and vocally, to kick off this EP. Next we have Otho. The bass that this song has and how much it comes through creates a very dark and heavier mood for the song. It's a more traditional melodic death metal song, so having that darker mood, that darker experience or atmosphere works really well with a track that feels like it lost a little bit of that cinematic presence that Galba had as it opened. So this is a more almost straightforward melodic death metal song, still in a storytelling aspect with great ebbs and flows from that point of view, from a lyrical point of view, not necessarily as much musically, but definitely lyrically. A song that has power, that has essence, that has thickness, that has drive. Lyrically, you start to see, and this is something that you're going to find throughout the entire EP, you start to see Vitellius coming into the picture as Otho starts to lose grip on power, lose grip on his empire, if you will. The drums on this track are insane, and I love, like I said, once again, going back a little bit, I love how lyrically these tracks tie in one to the other from a storytelling perspective. It doesn't wait for one song to end to start talking about the next emperor, because all of their lives, their rise and their fall, is completely intertwined. So the songs lyrically are also completely intertwined with one another. Now this track, like I said, had great drum sound, and you have to have that great drum sound, that great drum essence in order to feel that more melodic death metal sound, to give some oomph to the overall melody that the track possesses. A really punchy track all around. Then we get to Vitellius. This is another great song with great guitar sound, and then you start to see the continuation of the heaviness that we saw in Otho moving into this song, but still allowing some symphonic elements to creep in. Not to the level that we saw with the opening track Galba, but definitely more than we saw in Otho. A little bit of both worlds combining into a single song. So everything that you got all the way turned to 11 on both of the first two tracks, they start to blend together in a more symbiotic way when it gets to Vitellius. A great song with great heaviness, like I said, some symphonic elements there, and you start to feel in the sound the sense of his demise as an emperor. This track really plays that path, that role that he had, not just the rise, but more predominantly the fall. The fall of Vitellius is completely ingrained in the sound, in the atmosphere, in the overall vibe that this track provides, and I think that's what sets this song apart more than anything else. Last but definitely not least, Vespasian, the emperor that brought stability to the Roman Empire, the changing of the guard, a new leaf turned. The Roman Empire was completely different once Vespasian took hold of it, and it changed the dynamics going forward as they progressed and as they continue to take hold throughout their empire. His tentacles start to take hold throughout the empire. The song offers more of a triumphant experience, because now you don't have a rise and fall, you just have the rise and then the stability that came with the power that he brought with his legacy to the throne, if you will. So this song, obviously because of it, definitely offers more of a triumphant experience. It's a very well crafted symphonic death metal song, and I don't think you can have that triumphant experience in the track if you don't have that more orchestral symphonic side to the song that really helps create a lighter mood, a more epic vibe, allowing the song to feel a little bit bigger and feeling triumphant within it. So this track has this victorious sound experience that really defines the role that Vespasian had in the Roman Empire, but more so in the year of the four emperors. The track sonically really defines his moment in time and what came afterwards. This is it, XDO, Year of the Four Emperors. out January 10th on Reigning Phoenix Music. I enjoyed this concept EP tremendously because I did not know these stories of these 4 emperors. Listening to this EP allowed me to actually go and Google the facts and learn a little bit more about the Roman Empire. I know a lot about the Roman Empire, but I didn't know specifically what happened in AD 69. So this was a very interesting EP for me because it opened doors to also gain some new knowledge about a past that had an incredible impact on defining not just the European continent, but also North Africa and beyond. Great EP by XDO, really interesting concept. I think you guys should check it out. I'll see you all at the next video. Take care, guys.